It kind of encompasses the story of how I got to where I am today. I would really like my brother to come in as well. So the story of me is I was, like so many of us, I was born a baby and came into this world. My father was a new life insurance agent. He was a teacher prior, but he came into this business because he wanted to help others and he wanted to provide for a lifestyle that was flexible. Thank you very much.
You sitting right here?
Yes.
And then I got a killed and salmon and 2 Southwest. Oh, it's a split?
Yes.
And my mother, she became a stay-at-home mother. So my father came into the business hoping to be able to provide, and that my mother could raise myself and my brother and sister. So, as far as I can remember back, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. This was me, probably from my earliest memories. One of the things that, if you'll notice in the pictures, I am a little bit maybe ornery and maybe have a little bit of gas because this is about the time my brother came into the world. So I wasn't too excited about him, but as long as I can remember, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. And that went through after college. So if you can see the picture, it's of me, and I didn't make the best choices maybe in life. But this was me at 22 years old. This was probably the day that I quit working with my father because he was a life insurance agent, and I came in and I worked with him for about a year and hated it. So I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I got in a car, I traveled across the country, slept on my father's or my college roommate's floor, and I wanted to be a comedian. So I tried my best to become a comedian. I actually became the writer's assistant on a television show called The Office, which was, if you haven't watched it on NBC, it's pretty cool. And here's me with the cast members. So I was in TV for 5 years. I was actually doing everything you needed to do to become a comedy writer, and then a show called Survivor came out. And reality TV pretty much washed out the ability for there was comedy writers unemployed everywhere. So I looked at my future as a comedy writer. I'm watching all these unemployed, comedy writers who have kids, who have everything else, and there was not a lot of control that you could have in that business. So I couldn't become a comedy writer anymore. This was pretty cool, and I felt like I was ahead of my brother at this state in my life, and that my parents were pretty happy, saying, "Hey, our son is out in Hollywood." But my brother decided to become a member of the U.S. National Olympic rowing team. So he decided to row, and I've noticed that he kind of one-upped me a little bit. I tend to think that it's pretty cool working on The Office, but it didn't provide for much. But in my efforts to leave the comedy business and top my brother, I moved to Shanghai, China, and I started a business there. I had worked with individuals and pensions all over the world. So in the U.S. we have the 401k plan. You don't get that in China. And you don't have any of the social benefits if you were French. You're not contributing to any corporate pension. You're not contributing to any government pension. But you get paid all this cash to take care of it yourself. So we helped them. One time, a guy came across and said, "Hey, nobody's selling life insurance in the international market." So I wound up selling life insurance. Lo and behold, I became the top life insurance agent in China in the expat market. Meaning selling to people who were from overseas, so Americans, French, everywhere else. This is actually me and my assistant. I thought this was a funny picture, but really has no purpose to the story, but it was a good guy. I hope to one day bring him back here, but I had about 4 people working under me over there. At the same time, I thought that was pretty cool. The life insurance became kind of a focus of my business. Having talked to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people about money, what I realized was that there are some staggering statistics out there. 1 in 3 people don't even have any life insurance on themselves. Another 1 in 3 only have it through group insurance, which means that they have it through their company. However, they're some of the lowest insured when you look statistically compared to their peers. 50% of people believe they're underinsured. 3 out of 4 people in my generation, if something happened to them, that's 75% of people, if something happened to them, they would find themselves in an immediate hardship that year. which means that people need to have conversations about this to put themselves in better positions. We're actually, and Peter is in the industry as well, we're in a 50-year low as far as people owning life insurance on them. My brother, I meant to pick the silliest picture I could find of him, with his genetic body and everything else, became he qualified for the U.S. team, so he was an alternate at the last Olympics and going for, in the next Olympics, I think it's in Brazil, the gold. So once again, he's trying to top me. I played the trump card with my brother, which was, I gave my mom a grandchild, which I was hoping was the ultimate trump card, which made me look. My brother tried to top me and he got a dog, but I don't think it was the same. So it was a long story that I actually wound up following in my father's footsteps and working with people in insurances. I'm trying actively to get my brother to come into the business because I do think that I very much enjoy spending my life working with him, but I also feel that we can make the business about more than just helping people get insurances. One of the things we want to do is to try to save hundreds of thousands of dogs. And so in closing, I hope that one day you hear the Monahan brothers helping people and helping animals.